Hi, Mr. Gagandeep. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Gagandeep Singh. I am an organizational psychologist and the founder of a company called Hello Excellence Consulting. Basically, I work with businesses and corporations and I help them fix behavior related problems with employees. So, I do a lot of work around leadership development, mental health, productivity.
Can you please tell us about how someone can achieve work life harmony?
So, there are a lot of ways to achieve work life harmony. I will mention two. So, one is human beings cannot switch on or switch off their mood. So the way they feel at home, they bring that mood to the workplace. The way they feel at workplace, they take that mood to their families back home. Because we don't have this ability to switch on and switch off, therefore it's very important that we have a good state of mind in both the places. So if a person wants to achieve good work life harmony, they should find a profession which they find meaningful, which is important to them, which is linked to their life's purpose. And chances are that when a person is aligned professionally with their purpose, they are usually happier at workplace, they are more motivated and they're more productive. And as a result, when they go back home, they're in a good mood. So one way to find work life harmony is to pick a career which is aligned with your purpose. Now, the second way that you can achieve work life harmony is by being a bit more organized. Now, what I mean by that is most employees do not have an action plan for their day, for their week, or for their month. And as a result, they go to the workplace, whatever work comes up, they start doing it. They do it randomly, they switch a lot of tasks. And if something new has to be done, it takes up more hours and they have to go beyond their work hours to finish it. So most employees get burnt out because of their disorganized behavior. So one of the things that they can use to achieve work life harmony and work life balance is have a game plan for their day. And game plan means very simple, a small list of tasks that they have to do during the day. It need not even be on an app, it can be on a simple piece of paper or a diary, and just a list of to do things. When our brain has a list, it has a direction, so it can go and get the stuff done. If people do not have a direction, then they pick up random things, they work longer hours, they get burnt out, and then they feel bad about it. So the second answer is be more organized and have an action plan for every day.
That's very practical, sir. And my next question to you is, as an HR, how do you ensure you can promote your team to have work life balance or integrate these policies?
So one of the things that I use is a technique called micro habits or atomic habits, if you've read the book by James Clear. So whenever we have to change to a new habit, it cannot be done drastically. So for example, let's say if I have to become more organized at workplace, I cannot have a to-do list in the beginning itself of 20 action items. So one thing that a person can do is just spend 2 to 3 minutes initially, list out 2 or 3 things, get those 2 3 things done for the first 1 week or 2 weeks, and then once they get comfortable with that level of organization, then they can increase the intensity. Then they can have 5 tasks, then they can have 7 tasks. So whenever you want to build a new habit, you cannot just go all crazy and very intense. It has to be done very slowly and in very small chunks. So that's something that I would recommend to a lot of my colleagues. If you want to get more organized, if you want to have better work life harmony, start very small but be consistent. Make sure you're doing that every single day instead of putting in a lot of work one day and then forgetting it for a week.
So I think you've already answered this, but still, once you have established this pattern, how do you iterate and maintain this well being?
It's an interesting phenomena. Actually, you don't have to put in a lot of effort to maintain your habits because habits are very biological. Each habit is basically some neural connections that happen in your brain and that get strengthened with time. So if you are repeating a single habit every single day for, let's say, 5 to 6 months, then that's a proper habit which has been formed, and it actually does not need a lot of effort from your side to maintain. Just to give you a very simple example, most of us don't even remember when we tie our shoelaces or when we button our shirts or blazers or unbutton them. It's because we've done it so many times that our brain does not require any energy to 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 do it again. The same happens with other habits as well. Once you start doing something and you do it for a certain amount of time, your brain actually requires very less amount of energy, and as a result you don't have to put in a lot of effort to maintain that habit. But yes, for those first 6 months you have to be consistent so that that habit is formed in the first place.
And so, what is your philosophy? Should work be like fun and be a part of life, or should we have boundaries around work and life?
It depends on what you want from life. If you want to have a healthy life, then yes, you can have 3 or 4 pillars which are operating at an optimal state. For example, our health, our relationships, our friendships, our career. So for an average human being who wants to have a healthy life, it's important to have all those pillars running at, let's say, 75% or 70%, so that if one pillar falls, you have other three to support you. But if you want to be an extremely high performer, let's say you want to be a genius level uh, scientist, or let's say you want to be a CEO of a company, then in those scenarios you may have to do things which other people are not doing, so that you can differentiate yourself and get those positions. For that, it's very important to have a very single minded approach and be in a way like a monomaniac. So a lot of unidimensional people, a lot of high performers usually focus most of their energy into one pillar. So if it's career, all they do is think about their career. If it's friends and family, then all they think about is friends and family. So it just depends on what you want. If you want to have a healthy life, a mix of all things is good. If you want to have an exceptional level of success, then I would say being a unidimensional, more focused person would help you much better.
That's amazing, sir. Can you please share an example where you or someone you know lost balance and then regained it, so that we can see how to actually get it done?
Hmm. Okay, so I am a person who I think about work all the time, and I'm a psychologist, so I think about psychology all the time. So I may not be the best person to talk about balance, but I can tell you that there is a way to achieve balance, and that way is to have decent level of boundaries in each of your domains. So your family should get a certain level of priority, your work should get a certain level of priority, your friends should get a certain level of priority. And the clearer the boundaries, the stronger the boundaries, the healthier will be your life, the smoother will your life be. And one way to do that is, coming back to what I said earlier, is being a bit more organized. So an organized person can have all of these things without getting burnt out. So if I'm organized, I will be able to finish my work in 6 hours or 7 hours or 8 hours. If I'm an organized person, if I'm sitting with my partner, chances are that I will be completely present with them. And if I'm with my friends, I'll be completely present with them. So fundamental basic organization skills help us establish healthy boundaries. And once we have those boundaries, we can achieve decent level of productivity in each of those domains. I hope that I was able to answer the
That does.
question.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to have you.
Same here. Thank you for inviting me. Have a good day.